This is where the impossible choice architecture of toxic hustle culture rears its head. If you are sitting in a rigid workspace or a classroom trying to sustain 100% output while your hypothalamus is in a thermoregulatory crisis, you are taxing your nervous system. You aren't lazy, you are literally running an internal marathon just to keep your core cool.
They been cramping my style all week. Craving chocolate trees, checking pants, checking seeds, sipping herbal tea and fight for menstrual equity. Jeez, man, I kick cramps ass. Kick cramps ass. Kick cramps ass. Kick cramp 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 ass. You're now tuned in to the Kick Cramps Ass podcast with your host, Brittany Walker, advocating for menstrual equity, period poverty, and womb wellness. New episodes on Menstruation Mondays.
Happy Menstruation Monday, and welcome back to the Kick Cramps Ass podcast, the space where we treat language as a clinical weapon and biological data as our absolute currency. I am your host, Brittany Walker, and we have made it to episode 11 in season 4. We are officially back from a 2-week summer break, completely recharged, down-regulated, and ready to wrap up the second half of season 4 with massive biological authority. And family, perfect timing because we are stepping right into the blazing heat of summer. Today is June 29th, right on the heels of the summer solstice. Across the country, we are seeing soaring temperatures. But as this community knows, we do not look at environmental shifts as minor inconveniences or abstract weather updates. We look at them through a rigorous clinical biopsychosocial lens. Because when the external temperatures rises, it collides directly with your internal thermostat. If you are trying to navigate your daily life load, school, deadlines, creative careers, and just basic survival, while your hormones are actively fighting the summer heat, you are dealing with a hidden form of physiological weathering. Today, we are unpacking the exact science of luteal phase thermoregulation, why dehydration turns period cramps into a cellular emergency, and the plant based alkaline leaning strategies you need to build a climate adaptive baseline. Grab your water or hydrating tools, and let's dive straight into the data. Now, to center our minds, let's move into our I am power statement for today. We like to kick off each episode with the I am power statement, with I representing inspiration, A representing affirmations, and M representing manifestations. And the I am power statement for today is I am the absolute governor of my internal environment. I refuse to let external stressors weather my physiology, and I consciously flood my cells with the hydration and biological data required to sustain an unshakable climate adaptive vital baseline. Now, before we dive in, we're going to go ahead and take a good old sip of our cramp elixir, and we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with you. Tired of clunky remote recordings? Level up with Riverside FM Pro. Get studio quality audio and video, effortless editing with powerful AI tools, and seamless live streaming and collaboration. Become a pro of Riverside.fm and unlock the full potential of your content. Sign up today and make your voice heard. Visit the link in the description of this episode to discover more. Now, back to the show. Welcome back from that commercial break. We hope that you enjoyed it. Now, let's start with the foundational endocrinology. Why does a summer heat wave feel completely different depending on where you are in your infradian rhythm? The culprit is your luteal phase, the window right after ovulation leading up to your bleed. During this phase, your ovaries release a surge of progesterone. Progesterone is a beautiful nesting boundary setting hormone, but it does something very specific to your central nervous system. It acts directly on the preoptic area of your hypothalamus. Now, this is the literal thermostat of your brain. Under the influence of progesterone, your basal body temperature shifts upward by roughly zero point 0.3 Celsius to zero point 0.5 Celsius, which is equivalent to zero point 0.5 Fahrenheit to 1 Fahrenheit. Now, in the article, a self excited threshold autoaggressive state space model for menstrual cycles, forecasting menstruation, and identifying within cycle stage based on basal body temperature. The researchers confirmed that the basal body temperature, or the BBT, also reflects the biphasic aspect of the menstrual cycle. BBT tends to be relatively low during the follicular phase, the hypothermic phase, increasing by zero point 0.3 Celsius to zero point 0.5 Celsius, like we just mentioned, guys. And after the cycle enters the luteal phase, which is the hyperthermic phase. Since a shift in the BBT may be indicative of ovulation, daily BBT records could be used to estimate the day of ovulation and associated fertile interval. Now, that might sound small on paper, but biologically, it is a massive metabolic shift. Your baseline is already running hot. Now, when you step outside into a 90-degree or 100-degree summer day during your luteal phase, your body's threshold for heat tolerance is significantly lower. Your sweat threshold shifts. Your cardiovascular system has to work twice as hard to pump blood into the skin to dissipate heat. Now, if you're dealing with polyendocrine metabolic ovary syndrome, or PMOS, this thermoregulatory strain is multiplied. PMOS already involves foundational metabolic and insulin disruptions that can dysregulate your autonomic nervous system. Add extreme external heat on top of a luteal temperature spike, and you have a perfect storm for actual fatigue, increased perceived exertion, sleep disturbances, and a spike in your cortisol. Now, to corroborate this idea, the article descriptive analysis of the relationship between progesterone and basal body temperature across the menstrual cycle, the researchers emphasize that there is a present and undeniable advantage in a case a relationship is found between the timing of the magnitude of the BBT shift and any of the menstrual cycle hormones. This is where the impossible choice architecture of toxic hustle culture rears its head. If you are sitting in a rigid workspace or a classroom trying to sustain 100% output while your hypothalamus is in a thermoregulatory crisis, you are taxing your nervous system. You aren't lazy, you are literally running an internal marathon just to keep your core cool. Now, we know that was a mouthful, so we're going to go ahead and cut to our next commercial break, and we will be right back with you. Periods got you down? Kick cramps to the curb with Pilates for Periods. Our online program combines targeted Pilates, soothing yoga, calming meditation, and breathwork to help you manage your menstrual cycle naturally. Feel stronger, calmer, and more in control. Reclaim your comfort. Visit Pilates for Periods YouTube page, linked in the description of this episode, and start your journey to a more manageable cycle today. Now, back to the show. Welcome back from that commercial break. We hope that you enjoyed it. Now, this brings us directly to our next vital metric: hydration. How important is hydration to your period? It isn't just a basic wellness tip. It dictates the fluid dynamics of your entire uterine environment. Let's look at the raw analysis. When you bleed, your body is shedding the endometrial lining. This process requires a highly coordinated cascade of uterine contractions driven by inflammatory lipids called prostaglandins. Now, when your body is in a state of dehydration, your pituitary gland secretes a hormone called vasopressin. Further investigation shows that elevated levels of vasopressin cause acute vasoconstriction, meaning your blood vessels constrict, reducing blood flow to the uterine muscle. Less blood flow means less oxygen, a state called ischemia. And ischemia triggers intense, blinding, spasming menstrual cramps. Without proper hydration, your period cramps are structurally chemically worse. Furthermore, your blood volume drops when you are dehydrated. This thickens your blood, slows down your pelvic circulation, and forces your uterus to contract harder to expel the uterine lining. Dehydration also slows down gastrointestinal mobility. Compounding luteal progesterone shifts to cause severe bloating, pelvic pressure, and full body systemic inflammation. But hydration isn't static. To practice true cycle syncing, you must understand how your fluid needs shift across your infradian rhythm. Now, with your follicular and ovulatory phases, estrogen is dominant here. Estrogen promotes fluid retention with the vascular space, meaning your body holds on to water in the bloodstream effectively. Hydration here fuels high energy, enhances joint lubrication for your workouts, and supports the production of healthy cervical mucus. Now, during the luteal and menstrual phases, progesterone takes over, acting as a natural diuretic. It causes your body to dump sodium and shift fluid out of your blood vessels and enter the interstitial spaces. Hello, swollen ankles and luteal bloating. Now, your vascular volume actually decreases during this phase, making you highly susceptible to orthostatic hypotension, that dizzy feeling when you stand up too fast, and sudden dehydration. You need more water and targeted electrolytes here to maintain blood pressure baseline. So, how do we solve this? We don't just chug plain dead tap water. We focus on cell deep, bioavailable, plant based hydration that feeds your metabolism. Now, to truly hydrate, your body needs structured water packed with intracellular minerals, specifically magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Now, we have discussed in past seasons and past episodes how your body will lose magnesium, iron, potassium, and other minerals that the body needs, or macronutrients. So it is essential to make sure that we're putting the proper foods and things in our body to ensure that we're holding in enough of that magnesium, potassium, sodium when it's released from the body. So I want you to lean heavily into hydrating plant-based and alkaline leaning whole foods that naturally supply these electrolytes. Let's consider crisp cucumbers or celery. These are absolute metabolic powerhouses. They are over 95 structured mineral rich water that naturally reduces systemic inflammation. And then seeded watermelons and key lime infusions. Watermelon contains citrulline, an amino acid that helps dilate blood vessels, directly counteracting the vasoconstriction caused by dehydration and vasopressin. And then coconut water, the ultimate biological Gatorade. It is highly bioavailable and packed with potassium to help draw fluid out of your bloated tissues and back into your cells where it belongs. And then there's also romaine, bell peppers, citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruit, lemons, talk about collard greens, kale, and even okra. The list goes on with all these amazing plant-based foods that you can consume that gives you the hydration that the body actually needs. Now let's talk about the saboteurs. What must you avoid to prevent acute dehydration? First, excessive caffeine. Look, I know that luteal fatigue makes you want to reach for an extra iced espresso, but caffeine is a potent diuretic that constricts blood vessels, spikes your cortisol, and rapidly depletes your magnesium stores, the exact mineral your uterine muscle needs to relax. And two, processed sodium and hidden sugars. High sugar and refined salt intake alter your blood osmolality, pulling water out of your cells and forcing your kidneys into overdrive, leaving you cellularly parched. As we let this valuable information sit with you, we are going to cut to our final commercial break and we will be right back with you.
Do you want? Yeah. Fly. Do you wanna fly?
Now, back to the show. Welcome back from that commercial break. We hope that you enjoyed it. Beautiful beings, as we wrap up this heatwave blueprint, let's quickly anchor today's data so you can walk away with immediate biological authority. We covered massive ground today, so here are your core clinical takeaways. The luteal thermostat. Progesterone naturally spikes your basal body temperature, lowering your environmental heat tolerance. You are not just running hot, your hypothalamus is working overtime to regulate your baseline. Then the cellular cost of dehydration. A lack of fluid triggers vasopressin, which constricts blood vessels and causes uterine ischemia or a lack of oxygen. This means dehydration structurally and chemically worsens your period cramps. And then we have phase specific fluid dynamics. Your hydration strategy must adapt to your infraradian rhythm. Estrogen helps you effectively retain the fluid in the follicular phase, while progesterone acts as a diuretic in the luteal phase, requiring aggressive targeted mineral replenishment. And then lastly, alkaline plant based hydration. Structured water from crisp cucumbers, seeded watermelon, and coconut water delivers the intracellular electrolytes like magnesium and potassium your cells need to combat systemic inflammation, whereas caffeine and processed sugars actively deplete your reserves. Now that we have officially entered the summer solstice, the environmental heat is no longer just a backdrop. It is an active variable in your endocrine health. I want you to actively protect your body from the heat and use this applicable knowledge to manage your menstrual cycle in all phases effectively. We look forward to continually serving you evidence proven, valuable information to help you take full control of your menstrual cycle all season long. If this episode upgraded your health literacy, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment below. How does the summer heat affect your cycle? And what is your favorite plant based way to stay hydrated? Feel free to share with someone who you feel can resonate with this episode or our mission. Also, subscribe to our Pilates for Periods YouTube channel, join our newsletter, and stay deeply connected to all the resources, evidence based tips, and structural health education we drop every single week. This information is located in the description of our episode. Now, if you have any questions or concerns, we are still accepting listeners' mail. Feel free to comment on this episode, or for a more intimate or private conversation, email us at contact@kitkrampsas.org, also listed in the description of this episode. We are so happy to be back with you. Stay mindful, flood your cells with hydration, and keep moving. We manifest a positive, productive, and peaceful remainder of your day, week ahead, and your menstrual journey ahead. And we'll be speaking to you all during our next episode on the next Menstruation Monday. And until then, peace.